Salam and welcome everyone. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to our webinar today. My name is Nora Saif, and I would like you to join us as we unlock the future of dentistry. Welcome to this webinar hosted jointly by the Egyptian Maxillofacial Radiology Alliance, EMRA, and Atomica AI. Throughout the next hour, I will start by introducing you to our presenters. I would like to share with you a little bit about EMRA and then leave the podium to my co-host, Atomica's product specialist, who will be giving you an overview about Atomica and sharing with you a live demo of their revolutionary software and platform. We will then introduce our partnership, and please stay tuned for a very special webinar offer. And finally, we will give room for your questions. I ask you to kindly type in your questions in the Q&A box and not the chat box. Our presenters, myself, I am Dr. Nora Saif. I'm an associate professor of oral and maxillofacial radiology at Cairo University, Egypt. I'm the head of department at Future University Egypt, and I'm the founder of the Egyptian Maxillofacial Radiology Alliance, EMRA. Dr. Omar Yasser is the product specialist of Atomica AI. He is a highly accomplished dental professional with expertise in the field of digital dentistry and guided surgery. As a product specialist at Atomica AI, Dr. Yasser brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to his role. It's an honor to have you with us, Dr. Omar, today.
Thank you so much for introducing me, Dr. Nora. Well, it's a pleasure to be here as well. And thanks for all the attendees for joining our webinar today.
Definitely. And now allow me to give you a little bit about the Egyptian Maxillofacial Radiology Alliance, EMRA. The Alliance was founded in 2022. We started with a big conference in November 2022. Our mission is to simply nurture and advance the scientific knowledge in the field of oral and maxillofacial radiology in Egypt and the Middle East. We aim to foster collaborative research with world-reputed universities, institutions, and companies as well. And we aim to support our members by providing them with tools, resources, and access to the latest technologies in the field. And this is precisely why we're here today, honored to introduce you to Atomica AI, which is precisely doing that, revolutionizing the dental industry and providing dentists with a new way, with precision, accuracy, and ease to design their surgical guide and to better provide treatment to their patients. So without further ado, I give the platform to Dr. Omar.
Well, thank you for the introduction, Dr. Nora. So a little bit about Atomica. So in a nutshell, Atomica is a startup based in Atlanta, Georgia, USA, and launched early in 2022 to build innovative solutions and products in digital dentistry all over the world. Our aim is to aid dentists and dental professionals provide unprecedented patient care through a set of solutions like our Atomica AI software suite that includes implant planning, guide design, and segmentation modules. And we're adding more AI modules and apps on a monthly basis that will serve different specialties and usages in digital dentistry. We also have our own intraoral scanner, the Atomica S100, that's fast, reliable, accurate, and cost-effective. It also has AI scanning and imaging features that makes the digital workflow even more seamless using the Atomica AI software. Speaking about workflows, using Atomica AI software makes it easy for anyone to digitize their workflow, transition into digital dentistry seamlessly. Starting with a scan where you scan your patient, digitally using the Atomica S100 or any other intraoral scanner in the market, which replaces the conventional way of taking impressions manually. And who likes a dough-like mixture to be in their mouth? So later comes the planning phase where you create an AI guided plan, from generating the curve, model matching, implant placement, to designing and generating your own guide in very, very few simple steps. And of course, all guided and powered by AI. Eventually, you can use your own 3D printer to print the generated guide in-house, or if you don't have a 3D printer, you can send the exported STL file to your preferred lab or print it through our trusted network of labs. That's it. One seamless and easy workflow that suits all. That's why we believe that this partnership with EMRA will give dentists across Egypt and MENA region a lot of benefits and advancement in patient outcomes and provided care. So moving forward, so this is the easy part, where I get to show you an easy way to plan and design a surgical guide for a case using our Atomica AI software in less than 15 minutes. So this is a video where I demonstrate for you the whole process of from planning the guide to generating the guide design. So once you open the software, you see this interface where you get to log in using the credentials to have access to our software without any activation codes needed. So right now I'm attempting to sign in. You can, to have access to the software, you can sign up using your personal account, or you can connect with your Google account and have access to the software immediately. So right now when signing in, so we're taking a demo case together. So we're open a new case, tapping on new case. And as you may know that we support multiple DICOM files and single DICOM files. And what we have here is an example of the multiple DICOM files. And right here, I'm selecting a random DSM file, and we'll read it all together and render it into a scan, as you can see right now. So after rendering, you can see there's a brief information about the patient on the right-hand side, along with a bit of information about the scanner being used. And the very first step that you need to do is to select a file path where you will save the file and anything else later on that same file under our format, which is called Atom. Once we're done here, we're going to go to tap on Adjust DICOM to save the file and move forward to the next step where we get to adjust our DICOMs. So at this point, after tapping on adjusting DICOM, you get to adjust your DICOM from different aspects and cross-section. As you can see right here, if this scan you've got was actually not in the perfect position or misoriented or misaligned, so we get to choose or get to adjust from different perspectives and aspects. As you can see, you can also crop out any unwanted scans if you want to. But at this case, this scan was probably in the correct position. So I'm going to reset the adjustments and go ahead and start planning. So at this point, we'll start to check the concerned tooth that we're going to work on. We're right here, we have a lower right 6. So right now I'm selecting on the left chart right here. So I think we got back in the video a little bit. Let me try to forward that. Okay, so okay, so right here. Okay, so I selected a maxillary curve, mandibular curve on the right hand side of the chart, as you can see. So the mandibular curve turns on when I selected the tooth on the chart on the left hand side. The mandibular curve turns on, and you'll see right now when I select the tooth on the maxillary curve, maxillary arch, the maxillary curve turns on as well. But we're only concerned with the mandibular arch. So I select on the mandibular curve. And once I selected on the mandibular curve, our software immediately generates out a panoramic curve using the power of AI right here. Not only that, you can also manually adjust that by adding a point using your left click on your mouse, or you can remove a point using the right click on your mouse as well. And of course, as we're designing on a mandibular arch, we need to draw our nerves. So I'm here, I'm trying to draw the nerve. As you can see, I'm manually drawing the nerve, but the good news is that we'll be releasing a new version that will be able to detect the nerves automatically and do the work for you. You can also adjust the diameter, as you can see. And once we're done, we're going to tap on finish. Moving forward to the step that I like the most, and what actually makes it more interesting to our software, that you can add the model to the scan and the software will automatically match the scan using AI. We also right here support 3D formats, STL, OBJ, and PLY. As you can see here, I'm loading the model, and the model will be placed immediately and perfectly fitted to the scan, as you will see right now. So right now it's performing the automation, and as you can see, the model is perfectly matched with the scan. So right here, I'm going through the 2D views through different cross sections to show you how perfectly fitted it is. And in case the model was not perfectly fitted and not placed with the scan as we want, we'd be able to do that also manually by using the rematch feature, the conventional way that we all know, to choose the corresponding points and match the model to the scan. But I'm not going to attempt that here. I'm only demonstrating the option. So let's go back. There's also another way to aid you in matching the scan is a perfect fit, where if you want to do minimal adjustments to your model and try to fit it more perfectly to your scan, you may be able to use that feature. We can also add an antagonist if you have one to your case. So right now we have a maxillary model right here. So I'll be adding it and will fall into a closer relationship with the lower model, as you can see right here, as we're not planning on the maxillary arch. You can also add virtual restorations. You can add wax up. You can add tooth, for example, virtual tooth. So right now I'm adding a virtual tooth by selecting the concerned tooth and tap on my model and start adding the virtual tooth to my model and adjusting the position and the alignment of my tooth. But we're not going to take the whole time trying to adjust it because this is not a crown class. So after we're done with that, we're going to move forward to the next step where we start adding our implant. So the good part right here that we actually offer a lot of vendors and implant companies to be added, to be used in our software. All the companies that you may need, all the major companies are all integrated in our software. Not only that, you can also use the generic option where you get to design your own implants with your own dimensions available with you. So right here, I'm going to go with Strawman. And as you can see, there's different families under Strawman, but I'm going to go with bone level and choose the diameter 3.3 right here in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and add it to my panoramic curve. That's what I personally love to do. And I'll go ahead and choose that cross section to start adjusting my implant position. Why I like to use that, because up here, there's an eccentric feature that the software offers that will help me go around the implant. As you will see right now, I'm putting my implant into a eccentric position and go around it to make sure my implant is perfectly placed in the position I want. And I'll start give it more adjustments, and I'm looking around, and right now I'm trying to give it more angle to fit the implant the way I want it to be. And I guess that's it. So once I'm done with planning, there's another feature that I want to highlight as well, but I'm not going to go through it. There's another feature up here that I will, yes, up here, that is making two implants parallel to each other or more. If you want to make more, two or several implants parallel to each other, you can use that feature by selecting one as reference, and it will follow. So I'm saving my case, and I'm going ahead to add the sleeve. So once I select sleeve, as you can see, the very first option that comes up here is Strawman, as this is the implant system that I've selected from the very beginning. And after that, you get to choose which guide type you need to use. So I'm going to go with depth control. And when I apply the sleeve, this is the different offset that the Strawman sleeves offer for me. So I'm going to show you in real time the different offsets, hiding the maxillary and hiding. This is the different offset right here that you can observe in real time. You can also add a generic sleeve with your own dimension as well. I don't have to follow the same Straumann stock sleeves, but I'm going to go back and use the stock. There is an icon IPC here that actually means implant placement control. That's telling you by following this with the drilling protocol, you'll be able to achieve implant placement control with that offset of the sleeve that you selected. Last but not least, you can generate a report that shows a brief information about the scan. You can add notes right here below the panoramic X-ray, a little bit more about the implant plan, implant products, the sleeve, the bone density that your implant is going to be seated in, placed in, and also the last but not least, my favorite actually is the drilling protocol. Right here is the drilling protocol that you can follow to do the right osteotomy you need. Once done, you can export that into PDF and you can send it away to your colleague or to your lab that you're working with if you want to. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to save that. And at this moment, we're pretty much done with the plan part. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to save that. I'm going to go ahead and open up the guide design software. So I get to load the previous file that we just planned together. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to open and select the file I've just planned. So we're going to load it and you'll be able to view the models that we planned together and the implant that we've selected, as you can see right now. So I'm going to hide the maxillary arch as we don't need it. I'll give you a round how the guide is viewing our plan right here. And it's very, very simple to design the guide. So the very first step is you get to select on the model, tap right here on the generate guide, and it'll walk you through some steps to be able to generate the guide. As you can see here, it's mentioning there's one hole that you need to make it watertight. So if you view below the model right here, you can see the hole. So we'll click on make it watertight and it'll block it out for us. And here's the parameters that you might want to adjust, but it's actually set it in the default settings that you also might not want to change as well. The clearance, the sleeve offset, and the thickness of the guide. And it gives you in hand a brush where you can see I'm right now trying to highlight where I want my guide to be seated. So I'm right now highlighting it, trying to adjust it a little bit more. And when I'm done with that, I'll start placing my model in a perspective where I want the undercuts to be blocked out. As you can see here, the undercut direction is obtained from the camera forward direction. So I'm placing it where I want the undercuts to be blocked out, and I click on generate. Once I click on generate, two models will be generated, the guide along with the model with the blocked out undercuts. So right now the software is attempting to generate our guide. As you can see here, it generated two things, the model and the guide, with the two similar colors. So I'm going to change that color into, I'm going to differentiate the guide from the model so you can differentiate between both of them. Right here, there's other tools that I can use to add to my guides. For example, I'm using the glue hole right here to place a glue hole inside the sleeve area. Placing it right here, I'm going to tap on apply glue hole. Simple as that. There's also a stamping feature that you can personalize, or you can edit the guide using your lab name, your personal name, or your clinic name, whatever you want. So right here, I'm going to place where I want the stamp to be placed, and I'm going to write Atomica. You can emboss that. If you uncheck the engravings, or if you want it engraved, you can tick the box. So I'm going to label that. And I'm also going to go back and change the color so you can see the embossing right here of the stamp. I'm going to choose red this time because I like red. So as you can see here. Once I'm done, and if you want to export your STL, it's pretty easy to do that. You can go ahead and right click on the guide and tap on export. And you can save that into export it into STL file. Very simple, very easy. So that's it. That's how you can actually go through the whole process to be able to generate the guide. What do you think? What do you think, Dr. Nora?
That was an amazing and impressive demo of a truly revolutionary software. Thank you, Dr. Omar, for the excellent demo.
Thank you so much.
I'm actually impressed, and I think you've added more tools than when I have last tried your software like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Exactly. There's too many features been added. The user interface have been changed. We made the process of generating the guide much easier and much more in a sequential manner, where it would be more easier for the users to be able to generate the guide. And there's more features will be added to our software to make it much more easy in to be more easy in a way that everyone could actually use it.
That's amazing, and it's amazing how AI is making our job easier and more smoother to do. I met Dr. Omar and the Atomica team back in the IDS in Cologne, Germany, back in March. And I think the buzzword of the IDS 2023 was AI. There was a whole dedicated to AI tools, platforms, and software. And your booth was the first one I stopped at. It could just caught my attention for some reason. And I think what made us click is our mutual eagerness to support dentists, to advance the dental industry. And this is why it gives me great pleasure and honor to announce a partnership between the Egyptian Maxillofacial Radiology Alliance, EMRA, and Atomica AI, where Atomica will be providing us with free access to their software and platform full features, including their exports for research purposes. Currently, our EMRA research team is putting a plan for research in the field of surgical guides using the power of AI and Atomica software. So we're very excited about that. And we're inviting you all to reach out to us through our email. Should you have an idea of a research project or paper utilizing surgical guides and AI. We will also be planning a series of workshops, support tools to help you use their software and to help you understand more about its feature, starting, I would say, September, inshallah, when we're all back from our summer vacations. But that's not all. We have a very special
Yes, we have a special announcement that I'd like to announce it myself. We have a special offer for everyone who attended the webinar right here. So go to atomica.ai, sign up and download our software for free and enjoy an unlimited case exports for 3 months and enjoy all the great features and tools in there. Only make sure that you sign up with the same email you used for this webinar.
That's very generous and a nice offer, Dr. Omar. We're really thankful. And I think our attendees will be very excited to get to know Atomica AI software.
I'm looking forward for that.
Okay, we have some questions to answer. And let's start with the first question to you, Dr. Omar. Does your software also generate mucosal guides?
Yes, 100%. Our software actually generates mucosal guides where if you noticed, once I was trying to generate the guide, you can see there is a checkbox on the left-hand side that mentions a tissue guide. Well, if that STL that I was trying to, the model that was trying to generate the guide on was a denture, you can check the bar where it says tissue guide and will 100% generate the tissue guide for you. So yeah, we do have mucosal guides available and supported in our software. Good
to know. There's another question for you. Can I add my own generic sleeves to the software?
Yes, if you want to integrate your own generic sleeves. Okay, so I need to know more about that question. Well, of course, if you mean that if you want to add the generic sleeves for the, can I add, I'm sorry, I want to understand the questions, generic sleeve or implants?
It says generic sleeves, but
yes, 100% you can add the generic sleeve that's I mentioned in the demo. Prior to that, yes, you can add your own dimension with generic sleeves. Yes, 100%. That's why it's called generic.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Is your software free or paid? Can you upload the demo recording for us? Really, thanks for your time.
Yes, we will. We're recording that, and our software is available to download for free, 100%. And you can, as you can see, you can take the offer and enjoy the 3 months free export. But later on, there will be a price will be added to. There will be a fee on the export, which actually differential from every country, depends on the region, and we'll declare that very soon in the next quarter. Very
good to know, and we're looking forward to that, Dr. Omar. Can I do tissue guides using dual scan technique?
Yes, I answered that from the which actually the tissue guide. Yes, you can. Our tissue guide is actually supported in our software, as I mentioned before, and yes, it's the same question, and yes, you can.
Okay. I think this question is addressed to me. What other research projects is EMRA conducting? Well, currently we have 6 projects focusing on AI tools. 3 of them are in collaboration with other universities in Turkey, India, and Saudi Arabia. And we have our own 3 in-house projects in Egypt, collaboration between different universities, MSA, Cairo University, Alexandria University, and of course, the future University Egypt. So what else do we have? Do you have all implant libraries integrated into the software?
Yes, we do. I think that question is actually directed to me, where yes, our software supports all the major implant companies integrated in our software. And if you have, if there's any other company that's actually not available in our software, you can go ahead and contact us, and we'll try to integrate that implant into our software within a week or 2. And yes, so I guess we have all the major implant companies integrated in our software.
Good. How can I join the EMRA research team? And I think this is addressed to me. By reaching out to us through our website, you can join our mailing list. You can join EMRA by subscribing through our website, and you can always reach to us, info@emraeg.org. We will be sharing also the context at the end of this presentation. We have another question for you, Dr. Omar. What's the pricing model?
Well, this is, I recently mentioned that. So we, as I mentioned before, there is different pricings for different regions, as I mentioned, and we'll declare that in the next quarter. So stay tuned and follow our webpage, and we'll be able to announce that very soon. Very good.
We have an attendee from Brazil, Denise. Welcome, Denise. Researcher in mechanical engineering. I work where in Vesalius, which is a segmentation software. Yes, I think I've heard about it. Was developed, and your software is amazing. I see many possibilities. Is it possible to make another kind of guides?
Is it possible to make another kind of guides? I guess this question is actually generalized a little bit, but I think, yes, you can make another kind of guides. For example, if you mean mucosa guide, as I just mentioned, or if you mean bone supported guides like stackable guides, yes, we're working our way through that. So our software will be able to support that as well in the near future. Yes.
We have another question for you, Dr. Omar, from Dr. Aya Abul Futuh. Do your software include automatic segmentation?
Okay, yes, we'll be releasing a new segmentation module, as I mentioned before, very, very soon. The next month, let's mention that. I guess next month we'll be releasing the segmentation module. Well, automatic segmentation, I think you can currently manually or segment the bone, turning it into an STL file. But yes, we're also working on that to automate the process right away.
Well, that would be our coming webinar together, Dr. Omar.
100%. Looking forward to.
Okay. What about regulatory clearance of your software, MDR, FDA?
We're actually licensed by the FDA. We have the FDA.
Very good.
Yes, so no worries regarding that.
Okay. And I think we've covered all the questions. Let me check again. Yeah, we have another question. Okay, and this is Dr. Denise again.
Yes, Omar. Yes.
Yes, we used to work with many kind of cases like fractures and tumors. Yes.
Yes, and this is in our roadmap. Well, healing fractures and tumors. This is in our roadmap, but we're taking it step by step, releasing the, let's say, the primary or the primary settings first for the guide generation to be able to support every kind of cases, and we're heading our way to cases like fracture and tumors, as you mentioned, Denise.
Yes,
is that correct?
Yeah, I think she's talking about customized surgical guides for specific cases where you
specific cases.
Yes. Is it possible to contact you? If it's possible, can you send us your email? Of course.
We'll actually show that. Let's go to
yeah.
This is our information right here. You can contact us using that emails right here for inquiries. You can, for Atomica, you can just go ahead and email info@Atomica, or you can, for EMRA inquiries, you can go ahead and ask questions through info@emra.org, and we'll be able to reach both of us.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I think we've covered all the questions for now. I'd like to thank you again, Dr. Omar. This has been a very exciting and interesting webinar. We look forward to a successful partnership between us, and we invite you all to extend your horizon and to use this amazing tool for in your research as well as in your clinical cases and settings. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you, Dr. Omar. And
thank you. Thank you.
We'll see you again, inshallah, in our next EMRA talk or webinar together.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nora. It was such a pleasure being here. I had so much fun attending this webinar with being with such a person like you, Dr. Nora. Thank you for all the attendees, and see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.